The cat is out the bag.
People look at this picture and they say Clark is getting an early start on recruiting.
Head coach Stephanie White is so against Caitlin Clark. She's getting battered night in, night out, pushed around, battered.
Her confidence has been destroyed by coaches. Recreate Iowa. Build a new team around her.
Caitlin either need to get the hell out of Indy,
because it's very, very clear that Stephanie White is not the right coach for Caitlin Clark.
Stephanie White do not want Caitlin Clark to shoot the ball.
If I have 2 back-to-back in a row, like, I'm probably going to launch a third. Your confidence just builds.
This team doesn't go anywhere without Caitlin Clark being Caitlin.
There's so many things that are going wrong right now in Indiana with how this Caitlin Clark shit has been working out, and it's one thing after the other after the other.
Caitlin Clark is done staying quiet. She's fed up with being held back by a system that doesn't fit her style and teammates who can't keep up. Now, she's speaking out and demanding real change in Indiana. The pressure's on. Will the franchise finally back their star or risk losing her?
She sees that the Indiana Fever need help with getting players. They don't think she's worthy of building them.
She's done waiting. From forming her own crew to calling out the ones who let her down, Caitlin Clark is taking full control. If you're riding with her all the way, type 100% in the comments right now.
Caitlin Clark is the face of a league.
There's one person in this league that when she walks in the building, when she walks in the room, the owners see dollar signs. There's only one person and her name's Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA as a once-in-a-generation talent, the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, known for her deep shooting and elite playmaking. But instead of being set free to dominate, she's been restricted. And not by tough defense or big moments, but by her own coach holding her back.
Stephanie White is not the right coach for Caitlin Clark. We are going to question Stephanie White's ability to specifically coach Caitlin Clark.
Stephanie White is so against Caitlin Clark. It's clear as day. And it's very much clear as day that this front office dropped the ball in hiring her.
Game after game, the same pattern kept showing up. Caitlin Clark would heat up, draining back-to-back threes, swinging the momentum, and getting the crowd on their feet. Then, out of nowhere, she'd stop shooting. Not because she went cold, but because her coach told her to stop. The most obvious example? That game against the Liberty, 5 threes in the first half, then barely got the ball after halftime.
And this is the game where Caitlin Clark hit 5 threes in the first half. This is the game where Caitlin was on like an all-time heater, and then randomly, she just stopped shooting.
Even Caitlin Clark admitted it. When most players hit a couple shots, they're told to keep shooting. But in her case, that didn't happen. After 2 or 3 makes, instead of getting the green light, she got silence.
If I have 2 back-to-back in a row, like, I'm probably going to launch a third that maybe isn't advised by Steph, but like I got to get it up. And then if the third goes in, like, you're just hot. I think as a shooter, like, your confidence just builds and builds and builds. It's just coming off your hand better. The rim looks big.
Instead, she was told to take a step back. On the Super podcast, Caitlin Clark didn't hold back. She revealed that coach Stephanie White didn't want her shooting threes. Instead, she was told to play it safe and stick to a system that completely silenced her biggest strengths.
White do not want Caitlin Clark to shoot the ball. It's clear as day. She want to run this motion offense.
Coach didn't want her to shoot that three. And I understand, you can't tell a shooter not to shoot.
That's not coaching. It's straight up sabotage.
That was Caitlin Clark speaking about Stephanie White not really wanting her to take shots.
This isn't just rumors. Caitlin said it herself on a podcast. She kept her tone calm, but you could hear the frustration. She didn't name names, but the message was crystal clear. She's not happy with how things are being handled.
Professionally, like that Liberty game, I feel like as a shooter, like when you see like 2 or 3 go in, especially like for me, like if I have 2 back-to-back in a row, like I'm probably gonna launch a third that maybe isn't advised by Steph, but like I gotta get it up. And then if the third goes in, like you're just hot. I think as a shooter, like your confidence just builds and builds and builds. It's just coming off your hand.
She's being held back, forced to play a version of basketball that isn't hers. Instead of letting her lead, they're making her fit into someone else's system.
They are not ready for that style. They're not ready for that up and down.
And this isn't just about taking shots. It's about who she is as a player. Caitlin plays off instinct. She sees the floor in real time, reading plays before most players even know what's coming. She's always 10 steps ahead. That's what makes her special.
She sees the game 10 steps ahead, okay? Her spatial awareness is next level.
That's exactly what made her unstoppable at Iowa. When she was free to play her game, no one could touch her.
You have got to let Caitlin be Caitlin. Caitlin went and hit those 3 threes in 30-something seconds.
It wasn't just her deep shooting that made her special. It was her ability to control the pace, improvise, and create something out of nothing. That's what fans showed up for. That's what made her a star. But instead of building around that, Stephanie White tried to mold her into something she's not, a role player in a stiff motion offense where the ball rarely finds its way back. And the worst part? You can see it getting to her. The fearless Caitlin Clark now hesitates. She pump fakes shots she used to take without blinking. She looks to the bench instead of trusting her instincts. And that's just not Caitlin Clark.
She was like wide open on the 3-point line. She like pump faked and like nearly turned it over. I think she did turn it over because she was scared to shoot the ball.
That's what happens when a player feels trapped by the one person who's supposed to set her free. The coach should be unlocking her game, not holding her back.
We can't see Caitlin Clark second-guessing jump shots. Like, that's not good.
The coach had a clear choice. Let Caitlin be herself and take over the league, or try to control the spotlight. And she chose ego.
Stephanie White will be the reason Caitlin Clark is the reason they lose so many fans. I think Stephanie White in general, there has to be some sort of an ultimatum.
She chose structure over instinct. She picked a system over her star player, and now the consequences are unfolding right in front of us.
Her confidence has been destroyed by 2 genius coaches.
This isn't just a coaching mistake. It feels like a betrayal. A betrayal of Caitlin Clark's talent, her potential, and everything she symbolizes for the future of this franchise. And Caitlin knows it. She may not say it out loud, but her body language, her silence, and her refusal to fully buy into the system speak volumes. Something has to give, and it has to start at the top. Because if the coaching staff has failed her, the roster hasn't done much better. It's not just that the Fever are losing, it's the way they're losing. The team doesn't fit. The chemistry's off. And the organization looks completely out of touch with what Caitlin actually needs to succeed. She wasn't drafted to blend in. She is the system. But Indiana refuses to build around her. Let's start with the most obvious issue: basketball IQ. At Iowa, Caitlin played with teammates who understood spacing, timing, and how to play unselfish, high IQ basketball. In Indiana, it's a different story. She's surrounded by players who regularly make bad decisions, ignore easy mismatches, and don't move off the ball. It's not that they're untalented, it's that they don't play her style of basketball.
Indiana Fever players have low IQ, basketball IQ. They don't understand the game.
And that's a huge problem, because your best player, Caitlin Clark, thrives on rhythm, flow, and precision. Her game depends on timing and trust. So when the pieces around her aren't in sync, everything breaks down. One of the few bright spots? Aaliyah Boston. She's one of the only players who's actually figured out how to play off Caitlin, and it shows.